Ford's Mustang is an icon for the American sports car, backed up by 52 years of heritage. Last fully redesigned in 2015, the Mustang sees no significant changes for the 2017 model year. But if you're looking for a muscle car that provides jaw-dropping performance without sacrificing at being a comfortable daily driver, you may want to put this vehicle on your list. So let's go ahead and check out this 2017 Ford Mustang. Now, the Ford Mustang comes pretty well equipped with many standard amenities such as a rear view camera, HID headlights, and these pretty good looking 17-inch alloy wheels. Now, of course, you can spicing up things a little bit when you get higher end trim levels. Like on the GT Premium, you get these really nice looking 19-inch black alloy wheels. But here goes the key fob design for the Mustang. It's a pretty good looking key fob, I have to say. And then you have the Mustang logo on the back right here. You have your unlock, your lock, remote engine start to release your trunk, and then your panic button. Now, I love the styling of the Mustang because it has this retro look to it, and it also is pretty modern looking as well. And you can really see that on the front fascia of the vehicle, as it has a catfish type look to it, but it also looks kind of sinister and a little mean looking too, especially with the angry looking headlights. And then I really love the 3-bar taillights that you get on the rear end of the vehicle. That makes it look very retro in its styling. But overall, I'm a huge fan of the styling of the Mustang, and I really think it's better looking than the Dodge Challenger. Now, this color is known as the magnetic metallic, and you do have smart key access on both doors of the vehicle. And you have a full-on black cloth interior, full manual driver's seat adjustments. Now, stepping on inside of the Mustang's interior, I have to say I really like the sophisticated look it has, and this is a pretty nice looking interior, especially for a base model. Love the added styling details it has on the inside with the molded stitching, which gives it a much more premium vibe inside of here. And then you also do have this nice logo that says Mustang since 1964. Really love that there. But this interior certainly is a lot better looking than the Dodge Challengers. The Chevrolet Camaros, it's kind of a tie between the Mustang's interior and the Camaro's interior. All comes down to personal preference, but I will say that the Camaro and the Mustang have much better interiors than the Challenger. Now, you do have push button ignition, which does come as standard equipment. And what you're hearing there is a 3.7 liter V6. You have a fully leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, we have a 6-speed automatic transmission. You can get a manual transmission, of course. You also do have a sport mode, and when you put it into the sport mode, you can shift the vehicle manually via the paddle shifters. Putting the vehicle into reverse reveals your standard rear view camera, which comes with guidance lines and trajectory. That really does help out quite a lot, especially since the Mustang has pretty poor rear visibility. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the vehicle. All windows are fully automatic. Let's go pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Now, the Mustang is undeniably one of Ford's most iconic vehicles. Now, some generations of the Mustang have been more iconic than others. However, as soon as you see this vehicle on the road, you know instantly that it's a Mustang. It's easily recognizable as one. Coming up front, you have HID projector headlights, and you have LED accenting lights. Now, the Mustang has 3 engine options, one of them being this base 3.7 liter V6, which is certainly the most popular choice. It produces a pretty good 300 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 280 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM, with EPA estimates being an okay 18 in the city and 27 on the highway. Now, you can also go for a turbocharged 4-cylinder, which Ford calls it their EcoBoost. Now, you might be asking why Ford has put a 4-cylinder under a muscle car. Well, that 4-cylinder actually produces a pretty good amount of power, and it provides reasonable fuel economy numbers as well. And for the classic enthusiasts, you can also go for a traditional 5-liter V8 under the hood of the Mustang, which the car enthusiasts are going to choose the V8 over the V6. But this V6 should satisfy most consumers, as it is pretty powerful. Now the base Mustang V6 costs $24,645. The EcoBoost equipped with the 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder costs $25,645. The EcoBoost Premium, $29,645. And then when you get the GT, you step up to the 5-liter V8. That's costs around $32,645. The GT Premium, $36,645. And then you can also go for a convertible variant of the Mustang, which include all of the same trims. This particular Mustang costs $26,740. Like I said, EPA estimates are 18 in the city and 27 on the highway. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, you have LED taillights, and you also do have dual exhaust tips. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities: power windows, mirrors, and your power door locks, chrome interior door handles. Now, the Mustang is actually a vehicle that's pretty easy to drive, and today many people actually might cross-shop between a BMW and a Mustang, and there's a sense of solidity that you wouldn't have found on the Mustang 20 years ago. But the Mustang rides incredibly smooth, and it has a very comfortable ride quality. It's also very quiet on the highway. But if you want, you can go for a stiffened suspension setup on higher end trim levels for the EcoBoost and the GT models. It's not available on the base Mustang V6 if you want a little bit of harshness in your ride quality. But the Mustang rides kind of with luxury car ease, and that's pretty good at this price point, I have to say. The steering and the handling are also much better in years past. You can feel for where this vehicle is trying to go. It's very nimble, and it's actually quite fun to drive around corners. Now, if you want, you can go for that 5-liter V8, which gives you plenty of power. But like I said earlier in the video, this 3.7-liter V6 actually provides a decent amount of power and should satisfy most people. But if you're looking for a little bit better fuel economy, then you want to go with that turbocharged 4-cylinder. You can also get the Mustang with this 6-speed automatic transmission, or you can get it with the 6-speed manual, which most people go for. Interior quality in this Mustang is much better than in former generations of this vehicle, and the materials on the armrest and the mid-door panel are quite nice. You have this nice softly padded armrest, and the mid-door panel is wrapped in cloth. Up here on the upper door panel is hard touch plastic, however the graining of the material is pretty nice. Up here you also do have a softly padded dashboard, and then you also do have the molded stitching, which gives it a more premium vibe. This is also softly padded on each side, and the center console lid is also nice and soft touch. But overall, the materials aren't too shabby, especially for a base Mustang and given the price point. And then also the build quality isn't too bad either. The interior trim and pieces all fit well together, and there's no panel gaps or anything like that. Overall, I'm very impressed with the interior quality, and it's certainly very competitive in the class. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, love the steering wheel design. You get the big old Mustang logo here with the big old horse. And then you also do have the controls for your driver information display. And then you also do have your cruise control, and then your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, all that good stuff. Instrument windshield wipers, manually dimming rearview mirror, map lights. Down here you'll also find a USB charging port and a 12-volt power outlet, and a little storage cubby. Dual cup holders, your parking brake. Then you have your center console, which has an okay amount of storage space. You have your USB, another USB charging port down there, and then another 12-volt power outlet. Now you can't get the Mustang with the sunroof. However, if you're looking for that open air kind of feel, then you'll definitely want to go with the Mustang convertible. Coming to the gauges and the instrument cluster, love the gauges here. The font is big and bold, love that. Coming on the left, we have your tachometer, and then your coolant temperature. On the right, you have your speedometer, and then your fuel gauge. And the center right there, this shows you all of your driver information, such as your distance till empty or your fuel range, and then you have your tire pressure monitoring. And then right here shows you your gauge detail, shows you the air and fuel ratio. There's cylinder head temperature, oil pressure, oil temperature, all that good stuff. You won't find that on a lot of vehicles. And then you have your trip and fuel economy, shows you your trip information. Then you have your track ops, you have an accelerometer, acceleration timer, brake performance, lap timer. And then you have your driver assistance, you have the auto engine off, but you can turn that off if you would like. That helps save a little bit of fuel. The auto start stop system. And then you have your settings, you have your vehicle, the lighting, the locks, you can do a remote start, oil life reset, windows, wipers, many different settings that you can change here. Then you have your Ford My Key, shows you your My Key status. Then you have your display setup, the temperature, tire pressure, and then your language, all that good stuff. Love this little driver information center. It has a lot going on here. Now, I actually did find a pretty comfortable driving position in the Mustang, and the seats are incredibly comfortable. They're nice and plush and provide a really good amount of support on the side bolsters, and thigh support is also not too shabby. The steering wheel in the Mustang also does manually tilt and telescope, so you can get in a more comfortable driving position. And the visibility in the Mustang is all right, but you do have a pretty thin A-pillar. And seeing out of the windshield isn't too hard, but when you get to rearward visibility, there's massive blind spots, as you can see. But at least a rear view camera does come as standard equipment. Coming to the AC controls, you have pretty small knobs, I have to say. I wish the knobs were a bit bigger, but you do have your fan speeds, and then your different zones, and then you have your temperatures as well. And it has a pretty high quality feel to it. Now, coming to the head unit, this is your base radio head unit that you get on the Mustang. Now, you can also go for the Sync 3 infotainment system, which I rather much prefer. However, if you want to look at the Sync 3 infotainment system, check out my latest reviews on all 2017 Fords. It'll cover the Sync 3 infotainment system. However, I'm not a huge fan of this because it's just lots of buttons going on here. It's not very simple, and it can take a little bit of time to get used to. Now, you do have all of your regular audio sources, which do include AM, FM, satellite radio. You can also go for that. And then you also do have your Bluetooth streaming audio, all that good stuff, USB port with iPod integration, and your auxiliary input. And if you want to click for a different radio station, just go to radio right here. And then changes your band. And then you have your tune knob right here. Then you also do have your media sources, of course, and then your phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, of course. You can set the time. Then you have your menu. You have your sync apps, sync settings, audio settings, your display settings, and then camera settings, all that good stuff. You also do have an integrated dial pad right here too, which it gets rid of that when you get the Sync 3 infotainment system. The dial pad is actually integrated onto the head unit itself. And then right here is where you'll find your presets, and then you have your Bluetooth, your answer, and your hang up. And then you have your volume knob right here as well. Overall, it's a pretty simple head unit, but it's pretty complicated to use. They could have made it easier to use. Now, sitting back here in the Mustang, and just as I expected, there's not a whole lot of rear seat legroom, but what's even worse than that is the headroom back here. Not a whole lot of headroom. But you're not buying this vehicle for practicality. If you want that, buy an SUV or a mid-size sedan. But it should be okay if you're short and you're going on a short road trip. All right. So the 2017 Ford Mustang is an excellent choice for a muscle or an entry-level sports car. With its wide array of powertrain options, its incredibly refined driving dynamics, and its high-quality interior with many gadgets available. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.